Right now on Morning News Now, a desperate new plea for the public's help, straight from Savannah Guthrie, as investigators comb through any leads that might bring her mother, Nancy, home safely.
We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
We're on the ground in Arizona with the very latest on the urgent search for clues as the FBI puts up these billboards across the Southwest, hoping for any new information. Also this morning, those unredacted Epstein files now available to top lawmakers for the first time. Their key takeaways so far as Epstein's right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, stays silent in a congressional deposition that left leaders with more questions than answers. Plus, are some of the world's most popular social media sites deliberately designing their sites to get kids addicted? We'll dig into a landmark legal battle taking shape this week that's putting some big names on notice over their alleged strain on young people's mental health. And if you're looking to finally thaw out from Mother Nature's deep freeze, stick with us because we've got the lowdown on some hot last-minute travel deals that'll really warm you up this President's Day weekend. Good morning. I'm Christine Romans.
And I'm Jessica Layton. We are in for Joe and Savannah today. Yes, please, on those last-minute deals. We deserve it.
All right, we begin this morning, though, with our ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie. The mother of our NBC News colleague, Savannah Guthrie, disappeared from her home in Tucson, Arizona, 10 days ago now. Investigators believe she was taken against her will.
As new FBI billboards go up in the cities across the Southwest, authorities tell NBC News they still have no suspects, despite unverified potential ransom notes sent to local TV stations. The FBI adding in a statement that they are not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers. In a new video posted on behalf of her family yesterday, Savannah called on the public for help, bringing Nancy home, saying they are, quote, at an hour of desperation.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz is following the investigation from Tucson and joins us now with the latest there. Liz, good morning.
Well, hey there, good morning to you. In that new video from Savannah, you can hear her plea to all of us, anyone, anywhere. If you see something, say something. That video was also posted just a few hours before the 5 p.m. deadline for that unverified ransom note. It is unclear. The family has not said whether or not they have paid that ransom demand, but the FBI did put out a statement shortly after that deadline passed saying that they are not aware of any further communication between the Guthrie family and any potential kidnappers. Meanwhile, we are also learning some new details about the morning that Nancy Guthrie went missing and how the family learned about it. According to a source close to the family, Nancy Guthrie often would go to a friend's house on Sunday mornings to watch church virtually. And it was that Sunday morning when she didn't show up to a friend's house that her friends were concerned, and one of them then called her daughter Annie. Meanwhile, we've seen these digital billboards, these missing persons digital billboards go up across the region from California to New Mexico to Texas as there is this ongoing search and plea to find Nancy. Investigators did say that they are going to be continuing their search of the Guthrie residences today, meaning presumably Nancy's home and the home of her daughter Annie. And they say this is all part of the normal course of the investigation as they expand the investigation and the search, and also, in their words, as they continue to follow up on new leads. Back to you.
All right, Liz Kreutz, thanks so much.
All right, in Washington, members of Congress had the chance to review the unredacted Epstein files at the Justice Department for the first time yesterday. Meanwhile, in congressional testimony, Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell says she will answer lawmakers' questions, but only in exchange for clemency from President Trump. In her deposition, Maxwell invoked her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination to every question asked by the House Oversight Committee. She is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for being a co-conspirator of the Epstein sex trafficking scheme. NBC News reporter Alice Barr joins us from Washington with the very latest. Alice, good morning.
Good morning, Christine. Lawmakers in both parties are describing a persistent lack in transparency as they begin reviewing unredacted Epstein files, with some raising questions about specific names they say were held back. Lawmakers given their first chance to view unredacted versions of the Jeffrey Epstein files that the Justice Department made public, with large chunks blacked out, walking out with more questions.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
Republican Thomas Massie then posting questions about 4 redacted names in one document. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche directly responding that the Justice Department had just unredacted all non-victim names in the file Massie referenced, and that the DOJ is committed to transparency. But lawmakers say there are still portions blacked out in what's supposed to be the unredacted files.
And that's because the documents produced to justice from the FBI, from the grand jury, was redacted when they got it.
As they push for full transparency, members of the House Oversight Committee voicing frustration after Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell refused to answer any questions in their deposition.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Repeatedly pleading the Fifth in a virtual appearance from the Texas prison camp where she's serving her 20-year sex trafficking sentence. Maxwell's lawyer saying she's, quote, prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump, something the president has not definitively ruled out and Epstein survivors passionately oppose.
Why would that even be entertained in any way?
Lawmakers in both parties have spoken out against clemency for Maxwell. And Maxwell's attorney also said she can explain why President Trump and former President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Law enforcement has never accused either man of any crime related to Epstein. Also watching this week, a hearing with Attorney General Pam Bondi that some Epstein survivors say they plan to attend. Christine?
All right, Alice, thank you.
Also on Capitol Hill this week, the fight continues over funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Lawmakers have until Friday to hammer out a deal to keep money flowing to ICE and Customs and Border Protection.
As surveys show President Trump losing ground with voters over his immigration crackdown, Democrats demanding changes. They include requiring federal immigration agents to remove their masks and to obtain judicial warrants before conducting raids on private property. If Congress fails to reach a deal by the deadline, we could see another partial government shutdown. That would impact not only ICE, but agencies like the TSA, the Coast Guard, and FEMA.
NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor has been following the negotiations, and he joins us now with the latest. Sahil, good morning. You've done some reporting that's discovered that these talks are really not going well for Democrats, and that's despite the shift that we have seen in public sentiment. So what's the problem here?
Yeah, that's right, Jess and Christine. This government shutdown of DHS is growing likelier by the day. There are less than 4 days to go until that deadline, which is Friday the 13th, and the two sides have been trading offers, but the negotiations have not been going well so far. Democrats do feel emboldened by this public opinion shift, this real backlash to President Trump and his handling of immigration issues, the actions of ICE and CBP, and they believe they have a public mandate to make some demands that include removing masks, requiring agents to rather wear ID, get judicial warrants to enter private property, and establish use of force standards that at minimum reflect what local PDs are required to do. Now, the latest offer trading back and forth came yesterday when the top Democrats, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, issued this statement in response to a Republican counterproposal saying the initial GOP response is both incomplete and insufficient in terms of addressing the concerns of Americans, or rather that Americans have about ICE's lawless conduct. They said that Democrats await additional details and text. Now, look, what's different this time is that some of the Democrats who were critical to getting over the 60-vote hurdle in recent government funding battles, including with the Affordable Care Act several months ago, say they are firmly against funding a DHS, even on a stopgap basis, unless there are reforms. That includes Senator Angus King, the independent of Maine, who I spoke to yesterday. He said he would feel complicit in ICE's actions if he voted for this. So not going well at the moment. And Republicans, meanwhile, well, just take a listen to what they have to say about, or rather what one of them, Senator Kennedy.
The more he gets dug in, the more my side gets dug in. That's where I think we'll end up is basically a clean CR until the end of the fiscal year that freezes the current budget. But that's not going to stop ICE because we gave ICE bucket loads of money into one big beautiful bill.
And look, he's right about that. ICE does have $75 billion that won't be affected if the government does shut down. But at the end of the day, this is really between President Trump and Democrats. I think Republicans are mostly, in Congress, are mostly passengers in this car. If the White House cuts a deal, they will very likely go along with it.
Sally, we know top immigration officials are set to testify before Congress in the wake of those deadly shootings of protesters in Minneapolis. What can we expect?
I would expect a lively hearing today at the House Homeland Security Committee. There are about 36 members, Democrats and Republicans. This is led by Congressman Andrew Garbarino, a Republican from Long Island who actually represents a competitive district, was one of the first within his party to come out with a statement condemning the actions of immigration agents in Minneapolis. This hearing will feature witnesses including Todd Lyons of ICE, Rodney Scott of CBP, and Joseph Edlow of USCIS. So really the three agencies that are enforced or the tasked with enforcing immigration law. And they are likely to come back later this week, Thursday, to testify before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, which is chaired by Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right, in Providence, Rhode Island, newly released body cam video shows the tense moments when police responded to that deadly shooting at Brown University last year. The video reveals the chaotic scene as law enforcement hunted for a killer they believed was still inside the building. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin has the details.
All right, dispatch, be advised. It's an active shooter situation.
Harrowing new video shows officers storming the Brown University building minutes after a gunman opened fire, killing 2 students and injuring 9. In the body camera video, heavily redacted by police, you see what Lead Lieutenant Patrick Potter saw as police hunt for the killer. Guns drawn, questioning a university maintenance worker in the building's basement.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No. Before letting him go.
We got to continue to make sure the shooter is not in this building still.
The frantic moments mark the beginning of an intense multi-state manhunt that ended 6 days later when the alleged gunman Claudio Neves Valenti was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a storage unit in New Hampshire, having also killed an MIT professor in a separate attack in Massachusetts.
They're going to stay with you.
In the 20-minute video, you also see medics entering the university building with stretchers, as well as abandoned backpacks, laptops, and coats left behind by students desperate to escape. Now part of a trove of evidence released by the city of Providence. While over the weekend, students gathered to remember.
If there's one big outstanding question, it's why did these poor kids get targeted by someone? None of the camera footage will answer that question.
The campus still haunted by the unknown.
Thanks to Aaron McLaughlin for that report. City officials say that as of now, the Providence investigation is closed. But officials also told NBC News they plan to hire a third party to evaluate their emergency response. That report is expected in the next 3 to 12 months.
Now to Georgia, where a small plane slammed into several cars while making an emergency landing onto a busy street. The whole thing was caught on camera, and surprisingly, nobody was seriously injured. NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello has those details.
Stunning video from Gainesville, Georgia captured the moment a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza crashed into a busy intersection. On board, 2 pilots, including a student.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Just seconds earlier, one of them radioed a goodbye.
We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
The plane careened down the road, slamming into 3 vehicles, a fuel tank embedded in the back of an SUV, the driver covered in fuel. The plane had taken off from a nearby airport and was trying to turn back when it developed engine trouble. Amazingly, only 2 people suffered minor injuries. Both pilots walked away.
The fact that they were able to land in the middle of hundreds of vehicles and only hit 3 of them, no power lines, is very remarkable.
The Bonanza is considered one of the best general aviation airplanes in the air. It also costs a lot of money. And now the FAA is investigating. Back to you.
All right, Tom Costello, thank you.
All right, let's get a check on your morning News Now weather, where the endless Arctic freeze is still sending chills across the Northeast this morning.
Meteorologist Andrea Romero is tracking the winter weather, where there could be some relief on the way.
I'm
right,
smiling
Andrea?
just because, what else can you do?
Yes, we do have a moderating trend that's going to be happening in the next couple of days. In fact, today we begin to feel temperatures that are less cold. At least we're not feeling wind chills below 0 this morning. Right now, looking at this weak clipper system that is bringing some snow to parts here close to Lake Ontario. We have about 15 million people or so under these winter weather advisories over in parts of Michigan, over here in parts of western New York and into New England. And we're expecting this system to continue to move eastward, bringing some light snow for upstate New York and parts of New England. And then we have this front that's moving, that's extending all the way into the Ohio Valley, bringing some rain into that area. Now, tomorrow, some scattered snow will continue into the northeast with the cold winds returning, and that will crank up that lake effect machine again, and we could get some accumulating snowfall, especially just east of Lake Ontario. We have over half a foot of accumulation, as well as in parts of New England. Now, that warm up, there it is. It continues to move eastward. Remember, it was over the central and the western part of the country yesterday. Now it's going to be moving a little bit closer to the mid-Atlantic. Look at Raleigh, 69 degrees. We're expecting, and that warm-up will continue, at least in the northeast. We're expecting temperatures closer to average later on this week. So that's good news, because we can't seem to get rid of this cold weather. And of course, we have that West Coast storm that we're monitoring, bringing rain into California and snow into the Sierra Nevada.
But I'll tell you what, 30s will feel good.
It'll feel almost balmy. 30s will.
It will.
Don't even need to go on vacation. Thank you. Well, as the Olympic action continues on the slopes and the ice in Milan Cortina, we're hearing from skiing superstar Lindsey Vonn after her brutal crash over the weekend.
Her words of encouragement are coming as her fellow Olympians are already starting to bring home the gold. NBC Nightly News anchor Tom Yamas has the details.
I have no regrets. Those are the words from Lindsey Vonn a day after this horrific crash knocked her out of the Olympics. Vonn posting on Instagram, she suffered a complex tibia fracture that will require multiple surgeries to fix. She crashed just seconds into her downhill run.
The tone is set right here.
Oh my goodness, no! The crowd stunned to silence as she was airlifted from the course. I was simply 5 inches too tight on my line when my right arm hooked inside the gate, twisting me, Vonn wrote. My ACL and past injuries had nothing to do with my crash whatsoever. Adding, if you take anything away from my journey, it's that you all have the courage to dare greatly.
Kokomo could throw down something massive right here.
And that's what these athletes did, with medals up for grabs in 5 sports, including freestyle skiing.
First run of 3 for Eileen Gu.
Eileen Gu took home silver in slopestyle.
Eileen Gu, the stomp on the right side, 1260, a beautiful masterpiece.
Gu is a San Francisco native, but competes for China, where her mother is from. On the ice, the U.S. women's hockey team continued their dominant run, beating Switzerland 5-0.
A 5-0 victory for the United States.
While NHL players have arrived back at the Olympics for the first time in 12 years. Team USA didn't waste any time before hitting the ice. And despite a strong skate from married ice dancers Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, they sit in second place.
They're skating with precision, with ease.
Just hours after Chalk and Bates helped Team USA win gold in the team event, their teammate Alyssa Liu says her medal broke. Skier Breezy Johnson had the same problem.
Yeah, it came apart.
And now Olympics organizers say they're investigating with maximum attention. And after these comments on Friday,
it brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now.
Led President Trump to call freestyle skier Hunter Hess, quote, a real loser. Hess posting today he cannot wait to represent Team USA, adding, as an American, he values having the right and the freedom to point out things that could be better in the country.
All right, our thanks to Tom Yamas for that update. And if you can catch all of the best Olympic action on Prime Time in Milan, hosted by Mike Tirico, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
Well, we have much more to come on this hour of Morning News Now, including social media's latest legal fight that's putting addiction and the mental health of some of its users in the national spotlight.
But first, after the break, Princess Kate and Prince William breaking their silence this morning on the damning revelations made public by the DOJ's Epstein drops amid some shocking new allegations against former Prince Andrew and his ties to the late convicted sex offender. We'll dig into that next. We're back now with the Prince and Princess of Wales breaking their silence on the Epstein scandal as new claims about former Prince Andrew's involvement have come to light.
Yeah, in their first public statement on the files, Prince William and Princess Kate now say they are deeply concerned by the continuing revelations and their thoughts are with the victims.
NBC News international correspondent Raf Sanchez is outside Buckingham Palace with more for us this morning. Raf, good morning. Walk us through the allegations against former Prince Andrew. He has been stripped of all those titles. What exactly is he being accused of?
Hey, guys, good morning. Yeah, so two new allegations emerging from this enormous dump of DOJ documents. The first is that there may have been a second woman trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein to the United Kingdom to have sex with then Prince Andrew. You'll remember he was accused by Virginia Giuffre initially. That was an allegation he always denied. There is some discussion in these emails that there may have been a second woman involved. Now, Andrew has not commented on those allegations. They are not particularly specific. What is more specific in these DOJ files is an allegation that Prince Andrew, when he was serving as a trade envoy for the British government, forwarded sensitive, confidential trade documents to Jeffrey Epstein. And you'll remember Epstein, working in finance, potentially would have been in a position to make money off of those files. Now, there is already a police investigation underway into another former British official who is accused of leaking files into Epstein, and it now appears that Prince Andrew, while serving in that official capacity, may have done the same. Again, he has not commented on that allegation either. Guys.
Brett, let's talk about the royal family. What are the Prince and Princess of Wales saying about all of this now, and how much of this is going to weigh on the public opinion of the royal family and beyond?
Yeah, so we are hearing from Prince William and Princess Kate for the first time in this scandal. Prince William is overseas at the moment. He's in Saudi Arabia. He's carrying out what is a pretty high-stakes diplomatic trip. But that trip is being overshadowed to some extent by the scandal here at home involving his uncle, Andrew. So the prince and princess are saying that they are deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. They say their thoughts remain focused on the victims. What is potentially more significant, though, guys, is this statement coming from Buckingham Palace on behalf of the king. And I want to read it to you. He says, "The king has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions his profound concern at allegations which continue to come in light of respect of Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct." Mr. Mountbatten Windsor, former Prince Andrew. And the palace goes on to say, "If we were approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them as you would expect." So that is Buckingham Palace saying that they are prepared to cooperate with any police investigation into any of these allegations into former Prince Andrew, which is really a pretty stunning turn, given that late last year, this was a man who was still a working member of the royal family, the king's younger brother. And now you have the palace saying that they are prepared to hand over whatever files police want to see about him.
Yeah, Ref, it's remarkable. And fair to say the UK Parliament is consumed by the Epstein scandal, too. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, facing a mountain of new scrutiny after his chief of staff quit because of his ties to Epstein. Will Starmer be forced to resign from his role amid all this?
You know, if we were having this conversation this time yesterday, it really looked like the British Prime Minister was about to be brought down by the Epstein scandal. As you mentioned, his chief of staff resigned, his communications director resigned. At this point, he does appear to have secured his position somewhat, but this country is really, really on edge. It's worth saying Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, never met Jeffrey Epstein, no associations with him, but he is in massive political trouble in this country because of his decision to appoint one of Epstein's fairly close friends as the UK ambassador to Washington. That ambassador, Peter Mandelson, was fired by Starmer last year. But in these new documents, we are seeing just the full extent of the relationship between these two men, including, it does appear, Epstein paying some $75,000 to Mandelson back when he was a member of the British Parliament. So this has really called into question the British Prime Minister's judgment. What was he doing appointing someone to this key diplomatic post who was known to have this long-standing friendship with the convicted sex offender? Yes.
Raf Sanchez in front of Buckingham Palace. Thank you, Raf.
And staying overseas now, we want to show you some incredible video showing a daring highway robbery in southern Italy. Take a look at this. This fiery attack carried out in broad daylight, and it's really like something out of a movie. According to an initial reconstruction of these events, the armed robbers blocked traffic by positioning at least one vehicle across the highway. The attackers then appeared to set off an explosion on a security van. No reported injuries. So far, Italian police say they have arrested 2 suspects and are still searching for the others.
All right, coming up, some of the biggest names in social media are now at the center of a landmark legal battle taking shape in L.A.
The family taking both YouTube and Meta to trial, accusing them of explicitly tweaking their online platforms, all to get young Americans addicted. That's coming up next on Morning News Now. We are back with a landmark trial against some of the world's largest social media companies underway in Los Angeles. During opening statements yesterday, the plaintiff's attorney accused YouTube and Meta of deliberately designing their platforms to get users addicted, specifically children. Attorneys for both companies dispute the claim, saying they are working to make their platforms safer for kids.
At the center of this case is a 19-year-old girl who is only identified by her initials KGM. Her mom has accused the social media giants of harming her daughter's mental health, causing depression and suicidal thoughts. TikTok and Snap were also originally named in the lawsuits, but both of those companies have made undisclosed settlements.
A lot to discuss here. We're joined now by NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos for more on the trial. Danny, good morning. So some experts are calling this a test case because it's the first of dozens like it expected to come. We should mention that these companies, I should say, are usually shielded from liability, but this lawsuit argues that they made specific design choices to get the kids addicted and boost their profits. How strong is that argument?
It's an argument that's based on a theory similar to the tobacco litigation, to casinos, the idea behind addiction there. But it is fundamentally different in that the plaintiffs here have to prove not only that the social media companies did something wrong, but they have another hurdle, and it's called causation. And by that I mean, can these plaintiffs prove that whatever social media companies did wrong, it actually caused the mental health harms that are claimed by the plaintiff? And so what the defense is going to do is show that, no, this plaintiff had pre-existing conditions, and there's no direct evidence, the same way there would be with tobacco, for example, that it causes lung cancer, that these social media companies are causing the mental health problems. In a way, causation alone may not save the day if the companies are still doing something wrong.
Let me read you the response from Meta, because this is what they say. Meta says it strongly disagrees with the allegations, pointing to years of safety work with parents and experts. And then separately, a Google spokesperson called the allegations against YouTube not true, pointing again to safety policies and robust parental controls. Does either company have a strong legal defense here, and does any of it portend to other cases coming down the pike later this year?
Right. Well, one thing we can't do is say that social media companies have an absolute responsibility to protect children in all instances, because we simply don't hold any product to that standard, whether it be a social media company, a can opener, a pot, a pan, things that we buy. All of these things are potentially dangerous. Perhaps the best example is motor vehicles. Motor vehicles are incredibly dangerous, and yet we allow them into society because they have some redeeming value. Now, in this case, this is going to be a challenge because it's a landmark case. And I have to tell you, the reason all these attorneys are waiting in the wings is because no attorney wants to be the first. They want to be the second, third, or fourth. They want to see if this case is successful. Then they'll invest considerable sums moving forward.
And then what does that mean? You kind of started to answer my next question. How does this change the way that the entire social media industry will then operate?
Well, however this case ends up, look for social media companies to adjust their process, their development process, in a way that conforms or guards against this theory of liability. But again, the challenge is no social media company can make their product completely 100% safe. There's really no such thing as a product that is 100% safe. So the question becomes, where will the courts, where will juries draw the line in holding these companies responsible for what they put out when, by the way, an essence of this product and service is that it is addictive, much like gambling, much like other things. That is what the product is, because the product is free. And when the product is free, you, me, we're all the product.
I know, and I just have to, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a mom, and I know that supervision is so critical with social media. I mean, regardless of what this case turns out, supervision with your minor children on social media is just, it has to happen.
And it's an education for parents, too, along the way. We're always learning things. Danny Savalos, thanks so much. Thank you.
All right, let's turn now to our weekly mental health check-in. This week, we're talking about how listening to a sound that's all around us can boost your mood and health.
Plus, the importance of making time for your gals this weekend.
Joining us now for more on these mental health headlines is Dr. Robbie Ledwig. She's a psychotherapist and the host of the Pivot with Robbie Ledwig podcast. Dr. Robbie, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. First, we're taking a look at a diet that's been in the news a lot, the keto diet. First, Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. made this claim that the diet had cured schizophrenia. Experts pushed back, saying he was overstating the research out there. Then there was a report suggesting the diet might be effective in treating depression. What should we all know about this?
Well, certainly there are new studies out there that are interesting and maybe even promising. But when we look at these kind of preliminary studies, we have to understand that there is no cure, first of all, and it is somewhat dangerous to put out that premature idea, but that there are diets like the keto diet as an add-on to traditional mental health treatment may be very helpful. And so not to consider it an either or, but to look at how some diets, when it's incorporated into medication management for certain mental health issues, that it can be something interesting to look at, and that it does help in a mild way. But we don't know whether the keto diet is the preliminary cause of this or whether something else is.
Let's turn to something very simple that has been found to boost well-being and lower stress levels, and that's sound, listening to birdsong. Can you explain how this works?
Sure. Our soundscape really does influence how we experience ourselves. And so bird songs really do help in terms of making us less anxious, depressed, even paranoid. It's a pleasant sound that's easy to tune into. It's a healthy distraction. And it also tells our brain that we are in a safe space. And so when we look at, urban areas, it's really helpful to include bird sounds, either in, a micro way, going out for a short walk. But it is very helpful. Good to know.
And finally, Saturday is Valentine's Day, which means Friday is Galentine's Day. This was invented by a Parks and Recreation episode back in 2010. You know what? It's like mainstream. More people are choosing to observe it. Why is it valuable, Dr. Robbie, to celebrate female friendships like this?
Women really do need other women. And when we have strong friendships and we recognize them, we feel better about ourselves. We feel more empowered. We feel stronger. Our female friendships can be such a source of comfort and love and a sense of connection, reducing loneliness. And it really is a reminder that it's important to invest in our female friendships to keep those relationships strong. It's not an either or, it's an and, but female friendships are very important to us feeling good about ourselves and our lives.
We're so thankful for your friendship on the show, Dr. Rabi. Thank you.
Likewise.
Happy Galentine's Day. I actually like Galentine's Day better. Thank you. Coming up, looking to thaw out from all that bitter cold, yes.
Well, lucky for you, we've got some last-minute travel deals that might just take the temperature up a few degrees. If you're looking to get away this President's Day weekend, we're watching your wallet next. All right, we are back with some Wall Street headlines, starting with the latest money moves from Gucci's parent company.
NBC News business and economy reporter Ali Cannell has your Money Minute. Good morning, Ali.
Good morning, Jessica. It seems like luxury is finally catching a bid this morning. We have shares of Gucci owner Kering jumping into double-digit gains after reporting improving sales trends. Now, this comes even as the luxury sector has been stuck in a bit of a global slowdown. Now, sales still fell, but less than expected. And the company, which has a new CEO, says it's aiming to return to growth in 2026. That's a big shift after years of declines and weak demand from both China and the U.S. Meanwhile, also a big shift for ChatGPT. Its parent company, OpenAI, says it's beginning to test ads for some U.S. users on both the free and low-cost plans, but the company does insist that advertisers won't influence answers or see conversations. The move comes as rivals like Google-backed Anthropic take aim at chatbots wading into the ad world, even mocking the idea in various Super Bowl commercials that aired on Sunday. And Instagram is trying to be more like Snapchat. Meta confirmed to NBC News that it's testing a new feature called Instance, which lets users quickly share disappearing photos, very Snapchat-like. For now, it's just an internal test, but it does show how Meta is still experimenting with new ways to get users sharing with their closest friends. So just when we need, guys, another feature to keep us on these apps, but it seems like less grid posts to the public and more private DMs with your BFFs.
Okay, I didn't understand any of that. I just said emails.
I'll tell you, and then I'll make sure that Ali says it's right.
You're on Instagram. I see you on there.
I know I am, Ali. I'm just trying to tease. All right, thank you.
Thanks,
nice
Ali.
to see you.
Well, many of us are still battling frigid winter temperatures across the U.S., and that might have you counting the days to flee to some warmer destinations.
Yeah, the good news is that President's Day is on Monday, and a holiday means a chance to score some travel deals. The experts at Going say there are some discount fares available for anyone who wants to plan a last-minute getaway.
And one of those travel experts, Katie Nastro, joins us now. She is also a spokesperson for Going.
Hi,
Katie, good morning. I mean, talk about news you can use. This is great right now.
Totally.
So what are some of those last-minute deals that people can get right now?
Yeah, so if you haven't planned anything for President's Day and you're shivering like I am every single day, you can head from Omaha to San Diego for $255.
Wow.
That's roughly 50% off average prices, yeah. Or you can head from D.C. to Curacao, Caribbean island, beautiful, $342 round trip. Or if you want to head to Jamaica, you can go from Miami to Jamaica, $278 round trip. Those are all available to book. You have to have a little bit of flexibility over President's Day, but if you can, snag one of those and get away. Yeah. Escape the cold.
Exactly. I mean, this is so brutal. Let's look ahead to March and the spring break travel season. According to Going's data, both domestic and international fares are down slightly for round-trip flights this year. What are some of the trending destinations for spring break?
Yeah, so we're actually seeing, and it's really no surprise, people are looking to really escape, as in island escape, get to some warmer weather. So we're actually seeing that Honolulu is the most searched domestic city and destination for March spring break. And most of the Hawaiian Islands have actually seen an increase in domestic searches, as well as we're seeing this trend of hard and soft adventuring. So people are looking for destinations that are easy access to some of the national parks and are easily accessible and you can get out and do a quick hike like Palm Springs. You can head to Joshua Tree, or looking for something a little bit harder, more trekking, you can head to Anchorage, Alaska, explore Denali or Kenji Fords, things like that.
Hard and soft. That's like you can have an umbrella drink and you can go on a nice hike. Is that what that
You
means?
can get some
Exactly.
exercise.
Yes.
So, Katie, I was talking to some moms yesterday, actually, about the airlines know when the kids' spring breaks are, and it feels like they jack up the prices so much. How do we get around this? Are there still ways to find a deal for those spring break trips?
Yeah, I think a lot of times when we're thinking about spring break, we are only looking at our home airport. But the great thing about spring break is it's not the same across every single school district. So we always talk about over at Going, doing a little spring break arbitrage, looking at alternate airports to fly out of and being a little bit flexible with your dates so you can avoid the crowds. But there are some great deals available to book. I mean, you can get to that Anchorage, Alaska destination for that trek, that hard adventuring from Austin for only $359. That's 48% off. Or if you want something bigger, really taking that one big trip, you can head from Miami, the Fort Lauderdale area, to Auckland, New Zealand for $791. That's also 45% off. And there's just so many other destinations to be had, but you need to get them booked now because we're in what we like to call the Goldilocks window, roughly a month and a half out. When we get to that month mark, say you have that early April spring break, you want to make sure you're getting it booked by the end of February.
All right, Katie, so nice to see you this morning. I love the aspiration when it's so cold outside.
Yes, we need something to dream about, right?
Phuket. I'm dreaming of Phuket, but I'm probably going to Chicago. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up, we're taking you back to Milan ahead of a high-stakes showdown on the ice, pitting two heated rivals against each other on the world stage.
The women warriors of Team USA Hockey taking on Team Canada and later tonight. And our own Jay Gray is getting in on all the action as he does. That's next on Morning News Now.
All right, we are back now with the latest out of the 2026 Winter Games in Milan Cortina. Today, Team USA is in a position to bring home some big medals in several sports.
Let's do it. One of the biggest rivalries in international sports takes center ice tonight. Canada and the U.S. facing off in women's hockey.
All right, for more, let's check in with NBC News correspondent Jay Gray, who is in Milan and joins us now with the latest. Jay, another amazing official swag sweater. You yesterday revealed you're a fan of curling, and Team USA came through with a big win against Italy in the mixed doubles. What can we expect today?
Look, they're guaranteed a medal, which is fantastic. The mixed doubles team has never won a medal in the Olympics, so this is a big deal. And here's how they did it. They beat the host country and defending gold medal team Italy last night to throw them into the gold medal round. Italy will play for bronze here today, and they're taking on Sweden. Now, this is a team, it's a brother and sister that are the mixed doubles team for Sweden. They've already beat them in the round robin, in the opening portion of the tournament. So they've got a little leg up on all this for the gold. I know nothing's assured, but this could be a big deal for Team USA, and I'm excited to see it.
We are too. And Jay, let's talk about figure skating. The Americans had a strong open to the ice dancing competition, but maybe not strong enough. Where do they stand?
Yeah, it's amazing to see. They thought they nailed the performance. Everyone watching thought they nailed the performance, but the judges didn't think they nailed the performance. There was a slight technical issue, and so they were deducted, not a full point, but they were deducted enough to put them into second place. And so they came off the ice and said, okay, we're fine, we're in a good spot. They're less than a point behind. They'll go into the free skate portion of the competition on Wednesday and are looking to finish with a goal. They're in a great spot, though, right now.
And finally, Jay, let's get to that rivalry between women's hockey, between Team USA and Canada. When do they face off?
Yeah, it's this afternoon, just after 2 o'clock. They will be facing off. Now, this isn't a medal match. This is just part of the round-robin tournament. Doesn't matter. These two teams, they really dislike one another. I've talked to players on both sides. They don't like each other. And I can tell you, they are teams that have been in the mix right at the top levels of this sport for a long time. 6 out of the 7 women's Olympic gold medal games. There's been 7 Olympics hockey gold medal games for the women. They faced each other in 6 of those. Across the 31 major international tournaments in women's hockey, there have been 31 in total. Guess how many that the USA and Canada together have won? I'll tell you, it's 31. They've won all of them. These teams have won all of the international tournaments. The 2 most recent world championships, the 3 most recent gold medal games in the Olympics, all 1-goal games. 4 out of 5 of those came down to overtime or a shootout. They are so evenly matched. They are so aggressive on the ice. This is going to be a good one. Tighten up your skates, buckle up your helmet at home, and sit down for this one. It's going to be fun.
Pop the popcorn.
That's right.
All right, Jay Gray, thank you so much. Nice to see you.
I need that sweater. Well, staying on the Olympic beat, today Team USA takes on Sweden in the mixed doubles curling final. But behind the medals is a reality many fans don't see. Olympians are not paid to compete, and a lot of them work regular jobs while training for the games. NBC reporter Gordon Severson from our Minneapolis affiliate has a look at how the leader of the U.S. women's curling team makes it all work.
To be a pharmacist, it takes a steady hand to count pills and fill prescriptions. Because here, you can't make mistakes.
In pharmacy, you have to be very detail-oriented.
Their skills Tabitha Peterson has gained working 4 years as a pharmacist for Hennepin Healthcare. An intense focus on the details.
So it'll sit perfectly.
That also helped Peterson here on the ice.
Yeah, that felt good.
Where in practice mistakes can be made.
Slid a little wide.
But like the pharmacy, mistakes can't happen when you're competing in the Olympics.
We're feeling really good.
Peterson says practices like this
It's better.
Are not just about exercising your body.
Right to it.
But also your mind.
Good sweep.
Because she says curling is like a chess match on ice.
That was money. You think your opponent might play this, so you're going to play this shot.
And she would know. She's the skip.
Good throw.
Or captain of the team.
The whole time I'm reading and I'm mapping out the sheet of ice. The spinning is different than down and through.
She's like a second coach on the ice. Using her experience.
That felt straight through.
To call the right shots.
3-9.
As she prepares to compete once again.
Not bad.
Only this time, she'll have a little more on her plate.
Balancing being a new mom. I have a 13-month-old. Her name is Noelle.
And you can imagine how challenging that can be to have a baby while training for the Olympics.
It's a lot of planning and logistics, yes. And I kind of just go week by week.
Not to mention her job at the pharmacy.
Get some hours in and get a paycheck.
Life for Peterson is a constant balancing act.
Ooh, that's a perfect pour.
Between work life, personal life, and life as an Olympian.
Sometimes we're gone for 2 weeks, so I'm just really happy to get home.
It's overwhelming at times.
For the win!
But that's when Peterson relies on her steady hand and intense focus.
It's kind of running.
Because the next few weeks are all about curling and the Olympic experience.
In the village, everyone is just so positive and excited and rooting for you. I like that.
Taking it all in and making memories.
Having that Team USA as a whole, like you're not just the curling team anymore, you're part of Team USA.
And then after the games are over, she can focus on family and pharmacy and the never-ending balancing act of being a working mom and an Olympic athlete.
But it's all working out. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Our thanks to Gordon for that report.
All right, finally this hour, we're staying in Italy with the traditional food that's love at first bite. Italian food is a worldwide staple, but you may not be familiar with the cuisine of a small mountain town called Livigno. And its most popular dishes stretch back a century or more. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock takes us on this culinary journey.
Version of farm to table. Nestled in the mountains, close to the Swiss border, we find Alpe Livigno. A family-owned farm for generations, producing some of the region's most treasured foods, from pastas to cheese to cured meats.
They make all different kinds of meats here from different animals, from prosciutto to pancetta to speck. But the soul of the operation is the bresaola.
This is what it looks like. Thin slices of air-dried cured beef that are salted, marinated, and matured for weeks before they're ready for consumption.
Tanta bresaola.
Yes.
A lot of bresaola.
Yes.
This is particular to this part of Italy.
Yes, in Valtellina is a typical dish.
At Alpe's shop,
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
we had to indulge in a taste test
Deliziosa.
before embarking on the table portion of the experience, heading to their restaurant by snowmobile. Necessary with all the snow in the winter months and a journey where all roads lead to pasta. Marco Silvestri and his cousin Francesco introduce us to a local favorite.
What is the name of the dish that he's making?
He is doing pizzocca, the Livigno pizzocca.
As legend has it, the recipe comes from communities sharing their grandma's favorite touches for years.
How many ingredients do you use?
Just a few: salt, flour, eggs, milk.
Today, this standout dish continues to shine. Both the Livigno version and a variation from the broader Valtellina Valley.
Okay, here we are. Today I will show you the pizzocca.
Where the owner of Ristorante La Calqueira, David Silvestri, reveals a simple twist: buckwheat flour.
So we're tasting something that you feel in your mouth like very, you say like heavy, and then in combination with the cheese and the cabbage, it becomes really like a full dish.
Silvestri stretching out the dough and carving up wider strips of pasta that get seasoned, flipped, and then plated.
So here we are, pizzocca.
With a nice glass of Italian wine, transporting us to someplace very, very close to Paradiso.
Salute.
Salute. Salute.
You know, Sam Brock is such a great guy.
I know.
But why did he get that great?
He always gets a good one.
He
Now
really
I'm starving.
delivered. You can catch all of the best Olympic action on Primetime in Milan, hosted by Mike Tirico, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and streaming on Peacock. That does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
But the news continues right now.
All right, good morning. I'm Christine Romans.
And it's good to be with you. I'm Jessica Layton. We are in for Joe and Savannah this morning. Right now on Morning News Now, plea for help. The urgent search for Nancy Guthrie is now entering its second week. Our NBC colleague Savannah Guthrie sharing a new video overnight asking the public for their prayers and help bringing her beloved 84-year-old mother home. We have her message and the latest on the investigation. Meanwhile, in Washington, files fall out. Members of Congress have more questions than answers this morning after they were able to start combing through unredacted versions of the Epstein files that have already been made public. But several lawmakers say they're still seeing redacted versions.
The problem is we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms. What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ.
Their findings and their demand for transparency coming up. Plus, Winter Games Wonderland, our own Savannah Sellers, bringing us along on a walking tour of Cortina, Italy, which is hosting this year's Olympic Games. Olympic pride runs strong in the city, which hosted the first Winter Games to be widely broadcast live on TV 70 years ago. We've got more on its history, as well as the latest from the Games, a little later this hour. And shopping for that special someone. Valentine's Day is just 4 days away, and if you're still looking for the perfect gift for your loved one, it's not too late. We have some tips for last-minute gifts, including where to get the best deals on chocolates and even alternative flowers that can last forever.
Okay.
All right, we'll see. But we begin this hour with the desperate search for Nancy Guthrie. It has now been 10 days since our NBC News colleague Savannah Guthrie's beloved mother disappeared from her home in Arizona. Investigators do believe she was taken against her will.
Savannah posted a new video late yesterday pleading with the public for help, as authorities say they still have no suspects in the case.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz is following the latest in the investigation from Tucson. Liz, good morning.
Well, hey there, good morning. That new video from Savannah was posted just hours before the 5 p.m. deadline in that unverified ransom note. The family has not said whether or not they paid that demand for millions of dollars in Bitcoin, but the FBI did put out a statement shortly after the deadline passed saying they are unaware of any further communication between the Guthrie family and potential kidnappers.
This morning, the Guthrie family making a direct appeal. In that new video, Savannah thanking people across the country for their prayers and asking for help finding her 84-year-old mom, even those far from the crime scene here in Tucson. The FBI also putting up these digital missing persons billboards donated by advertising giant Clear Channel in dozens of cities in the region. Meanwhile, we're learning more about how the Guthries first discovered Nancy was missing. A source close to the family telling NBC News that Nancy and her friends regularly gathered to watch church services together online. When Nancy didn't arrive at a friend's house Sunday morning, the friend called her daughter Annie. And now, as the search enters its 10th day, the deadline given in an alleged ransom demand has passed. The FBI says it's not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers. Law enforcement has not verified the authenticity of the ransom note sent to 3 news outlets last week, demanding $6 million worth of Bitcoin. As the FBI works to determine who may be behind the demand, former hostage negotiator Jim Kavanaugh says certain aspects of the note, which he reviewed, made him question its legitimacy.
Regardless of proof of life, they don't even prove they're the actual abductors. So they could come from anywhere in the world.
On Saturday, Savannah posted another heart-wrenching video saying she and her siblings, Annie and Cameron, were willing to pay for the safe return of their mother.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace.
But now, with no developments from any possible kidnappers, authorities continuing the search and asking the public for help.
Don't give up the ship. There's no proof of life, but there's no proof of death either.
And the FBI says that they are bringing in additional resources and personnel here to Tucson as they operate a 24-hour command post. The Sheriff's Department says that today they're going to continue to search the homes of Nancy Guthrie and also of her daughter Annie's. They say this is part of the ongoing investigative process. And in their words, as they follow up on new leads. Back to you.
All right, Liz Kreutz, thanks so much.
So anyone who knows Savannah Guthrie knows that she is leaning on her faith more than ever in this moment. As Liz reported earlier, on the morning of her disappearance, Nancy was supposed to join friends at a neighbor's house to watch an online church service led by the pastor of Good Shepherd, New York. Both Nancy and Savannah have become close with Pastor Michael Ruzenda over the years. Hoda Kotb returned to the Today Show desk to fill in for Savannah this week, and she had a chance to speak with their pastor yesterday.
Nearly 1 week ago, Good Shepherd, New York gathered in song and psalms to hold a vigil for Nancy Guthrie, a beloved and longtime parishioner of the church. I sat down with Pastor Michael Ruzenda in the very pews she and Savannah often pray in.
This is Savannah's church, and it's also Nancy's church, right?
Yeah. Over the years, Nancy would visit, and we got a chance to meet her and know her a little bit. And then during the pandemic, we started out of necessity filming our services, our prayers, our sermons, and putting it out there into the world. And during that time, Nancy started to watch.
How would you describe Nancy?
she's a strong woman, and she is fiercely loving. Over the years, we've gotten to know what makes her tick, in some ways from a faith perspective, the songs that mean something to her, the scriptures that are meaningful for her.
Led by deep faith and conviction instilled by her mother, Savannah is also not a passive participant, calling for prayers as the search for Nancy continues.
We believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment.
Hope and prayer are two things that have been extremely important to Savannah and her family over this time.
Prayer opens up possibility in our own hearts. Prayer is that dynamic connection with God that introduces new possibilities.
We hope that you will open up a portal of hope in your own heart for the potential for God's rescue and redemption, and as a showing of your love.
You talked about leaving the door open for hope. Something about that line just really struck me.
Yeah, I think leaving the door open for hope is a way to fight against that sense of fatality or fatalism. It's the sense that we all feel when bad things are happening. A sense of despair or gloom can sort of like cloud our minds and hearts. And prayer is a way of channeling that feeling toward God with the hope that God will meet us in it and get us through to the other side. And that's the confidence of faith.
Lost and weary traveler.
There was another beautiful song. I think it was Pastor David played, and the lyrics are, "May you find the light to guide you home." It felt so appropriate, and I think it's one of Savannah's favorites too.
Yeah, I think we're all putting ourselves in the position of knowing that dark experiences can be overwhelming, and when we think of Nancy, our heart goes out to Nancy, and we don't know what we don't know, and yet we know that light shines in dark circumstances, and it's light that gets us out of them. And I think that image of a guiding light is powerful. And our hope is that God is a guiding light right now for her.
A guiding light for Savannah and her family as their faith lifts them in prayer.
May you find a light. May you find a light to guide you home.
That was so moving. Our thanks to Hoda for that report.
All right, 10 minutes after the hour in Washington, members of Congress have been given the chance to view the Epstein files without redactions for the very first time. But that review process is now leading to more questions than answers. NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles has more on what they learned and what's next in this investigation. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, Christine, good morning. And lawmakers from both parties are just beginning that extensive review process, but they're already demanding to know why certain names in the files are being protected. All this as the congressional investigation heats up with a key deposition from Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell that did not provide much information.
For the first time, members of Congress were given access to all 3 million Epstein files released by the DOJ without redactions. And as they learned what was behind those black lines, many accused the department of a lack of transparency, including Democrat Jamie Raskin, saying the DOJ is in cover-up mode.
I can tell you that I saw a whole bunch of them that seemed very suspicious and baffling to me.
Republican Tom Massey going even further.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche responding to some of Massey's accusations and saying the department is committed to transparency. The review comes as survivors demand Congress not back down.
This story isn't over. We haven't gotten justice.
On Monday, the House Oversight Committee also deposing Ghislaine Maxwell.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
But Epstein's former girlfriend and co-conspirator refused to answer a single question. Maxwell's name also coming up in an alleged phone call from President Trump mentioned in the files. Former Palm Beach Sheriff Michael Ryder telling the FBI that Trump contacted him about the Epstein investigation, saying Maxwell was, quote, evil. According to a letter Trump told police conducting the Epstein investigation that was launched in 2005, Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this. Leiter alleging Trump said he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present and, quote, got the hell out of there. Trump has denied all wrongdoing related to Epstein and said in 2019 he had no knowledge that Epstein was preying on underage women.
No, I had no idea. I had no idea.
But he has also said the two had a falling out.
I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert.
The DOJ saying it's not aware of any corroborating evidence that the president contacted law enforcement 20 years ago.
And Ryan, who else does the committee plan to hear from?
Well, they have a long list of people that are still expected to come before the committee, including Les Wexner, who is, of course, a man who is financially connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Then, of course, at the end of the month, we're expected to hear from both Bill and Hillary Clinton. And in March, the committee is expected to bring in both his attorney and his accountant, Jeffrey Epstein's attorney and his accountant, as this investigation drags on. Christine?
All right, Ryan, thank you.
This morning, several major trials are getting underway involving social media companies. Instagram's parent Meta and Google's YouTube, both accused of creating platforms that are deliberately addictive and harmful to kids. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett joins us now with more on this. Laura, good morning.
Hey there. For years, experts have warned about all the dangers of social media, but now many of those very same claims being tested in court, with the biggest names in tech now actively defending themselves against allegations that their design choices have fundamentally changed how our kids think, feel, and behave.
This morning, social media on trial, with a number of tech titans facing multiple legal challenges. Instagram owner Meta now on trial in New Mexico, accused of failing to keep kids safe from harmful content and online predators.
The culture at Meta is not safety first, it's brand first.
While in Los Angeles, a landmark lawsuit against Meta and Google, accusing the social media platforms of knowingly designing addictive products that could harm children. The now 20-year-old plaintiff alleging the apps targeted her as a minor with harmful and depressive content, leading to self-harm. In opening statements, her lawyers arguing the platforms, quote, engineered addiction in children's brains.
This was not an accident. This was not a coincidence. This was a direct result of the design decisions that these companies made to maximize engagement over safety.
A Meta spokesperson telling NBC News the company is confident the evidence will show our long-standing commitment to supporting young people, while Google saying providing young people with a safer, healthier experience has always been core to our work. Major tech CEOs, including Facebook creator Mark Zuckerberg, expected to take the stand this month, as well as Instagram head Adam Mosseri, who sat down with Craig last fall.
You make your money when folks are scrolling, sometimes doom scrolling.
We do make money when people spend more time on Instagram overall, but overall, if it's bad for people to use the app, that has to be bad for our business over the long run.
Watching their testimony closely, Lori Schott, who sued after her daughter Anna Lee died by suicide in 2020. Schott says her daughter was a teen who loved the rodeo, but became, quote, animalistic when her parents tried to limit her social media.
I want truth, I want accountability, I want change.
Opening statements expected to continue today in California, with attorneys for Google up next. Back to you.
Laura, thank you. And in opening statements for the Meta case, the company's lawyers pushed back on the claim that social media is to blame and pointed to the safety features the company has added.
All right, time now for weather. Winter weather advisories are up this morning across parts of the Northeast and New England.
It can only get better, right? Meteorologist Andrea Romero is here with the forecast. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning. And we do have 15 million people that are being impacted by these winter weather advisories, mostly over New England, parts of New York. We can see, in fact, some snowfall right now due to this weak Clipper system that's racing across the area, extending here over portions of central Pennsylvania into western New York. And now what we're expecting with this Clipper system is that we'll continue to move eastward. We're expecting some light snow for parts of upstate New York and New England. And we have this front extending into the Ohio Valley with some rain that will be dampening that area throughout the day today and possibly into tomorrow as it heads into the mid-Atlantic. Tomorrow, scattered snow showers will continue over portions of the northeast, but cold winds will be returning, so we'll probably get some more lake effect snows here east of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. But as far as the February thaw, we are warming up. It's going to be warmer even tomorrow as this warmth extends into the mid-Atlantic. We're looking at temperatures today that are 10 to 20 degrees above average, and we're expecting similar conditions for tomorrow, with temperatures in Denver 63 degrees, which is close to 17 degrees above average for this time of year. And even in the northeast, we won't be as warm, but we will definitely be closer to average, with temperatures in the 30s and in the 40s extending into Richmond, Virginia. Now on the west coast, we do have that storm that's bringing in periods of rain and gusty winds into most of parts of California. The heavy snow will also be developing over the Sierra Range. Maybe up to 2 feet of snow can develop in those higher elevations. The snow will be spreading into the Great Basin and the Rockies tomorrow, and the rain will be continuing across the lower elevations. As far as the rainfall forecast through Wednesday, we could have some localized areas of flooding that will be possible, especially along the coastal areas where we can see like 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. And of course, that's the accumulation of snow that we're expecting over the Sierra Nevada, over 1.5 feet to up to 2 feet of rain, and then of snow. And then we do have some rain that will be moving across the country. We have a storm that we're going to be tracking that could bring some impacts to the mid-Atlantic for the end of the weekend.
Just a wild winter.
It has been, really.
It's really. Wow, Andrea, thank you.
Nice to see you. All right, much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, ads and AI, the big change coming to one of the most popular AI platforms and what it could mean for you.
But up first, we've got the latest from the Olympics, including a walking tour from our own Savannah Sellers in the beautiful host city of Cortina. That's coming up next. We're back now with the latest out of the 2026 Winter Games in Milan Cortina. This morning, we're hearing from skiing superstar Lindsey Vonn after that brutal crash over the weekend.
And Team USA is up for a gold medal match against Sweden in mixed doubles curling later today.
NBC News international correspondent Claudio Lavanga is in Milan, lucky guy, and joins us now with more. Hi, Claudio. As we said, Lindsey Vonn released a statement yesterday about that horrible crash over the weekend. What is she doing, and how is she doing, and what did she say?
Well, that's right, guys. Well, in that statement, Lindsey Vonn said that essentially she was skiing 5 inches too tight into her line, and that is why her right arm got caught into a flag that twisted her, and that also led to the catastrophic crash. Now, as we've seen in those photos that were posted right seconds before the crash. She also gave more details about her fracture. She said that she sustained a complex tibia fracture that is currently stable but will require multiple surgeries to fix. Also, she responded to critics who said that she should have not competed literally a week after she tore her ACL. She said that the injury and previous injuries had nothing to do with that crash, but she also kept her positive attitude she's so famous for. There's defiant attitude. She ended the statement with this quote. She said, "I hope if you take anything away from my journey is that you all have the courage to dare greatly. Life is too short not to take chances on yourself, because the only failure in life is not trying, guys."
Wow, she is inspiring, I will say. Team USA's mixed doubles curling team posted an impressive win against Italy yesterday. Now they have their sights set on gold. Who do they play next?
Well, that was a nail-biter yesterday. Now, the mixed double team in curling beat Italy, which was was defending Olympics champion. They won gold in Beijing 2022. You know, unfortunately, it was Italy. I was also supporting them. But hey, what you going to do? Now, Team USA is in the final, and it's going to play Sweden at exactly 12:05 p.m. Eastern. So watch out for that, because, of course, a medal is going to come, either silver or hopefully at this point, gold, guys.
And Claudio, it's not heated rivalry, but it is a heated rivalry on the ice tonight. The U.S. women's hockey team takes on Canada. What are you hearing about this match? This could get a little testy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is still the preliminary rounds. I mean, both Canada and the U.S. are going to move on into the next round, but everybody hopes that this is going to be the preview of the final. Of course, the U.S. and Canada, the two strongest ice hockey teams, both in men and women. And Canada starts without the captain, who got injured in the game with Czechia, but of course, he's got so many other talents to count on. So it's going to be an amazing game anyway. And that starts at 2:10 p.m. Eastern.
All right, and two other competitions, Claudia, we're watching today. Breezy Johnson, who we spoke with yesterday, amazing, is back on the slopes. And also ice skater Ilya Malinin is scheduled for the men's short program today. What can you tell us?
Well, that's right. Well, let's start with the combined women's skiing event. Breezy Johnson is teaming up with Michaela Schiffer, so a really strong team there. Breezy Johnson did the downhill race early in the morning, and she is top of the league there. She was faster than anyone, and now it's the time of Michaela Schiffer. She's going to take part in this slalom event, and then the two combined times will define who the winner is going to be. Now the slalom event has just started, and she will be the last, so another half an hour and so, and we'll see her skiing.
All right, Claudio, thanks so much. We know all of Massachusetts is cheering on Michaela Schifrin today.
This is true. All right.
Now to a unique kind of school in Colorado. It's giving student athletes the chance to hone their skills while getting an education. It's called the Vail Ski and Snowboard Academy. This week, students got to skip class to cheer on their classmates who are competing at the Winter Olympics. Jennifer Meckles from our Denver station, KUSA, shows us where young Olympic hopefuls are learning not just a sport, but math and science, too.
If it looks like a school and sounds like a school.
So instead of traditional hall passes, we utilize skis, snowboards, and hockey sticks.
Then it is a real school, right?
We are probably one of the most unique public schools in the country.
Matt Steninger is a teacher at Vail Ski and Snowboard Academy. Yes, a very real, very serious public middle and high school in Minturn.
We're completely dedicated to serving winter sports athletes in our community here in Eagle County.
We get a snowboard in the morning, come to school in the evening, kind of blends athletics and academics together so we can all chase our dreams of going to the Olympics.
In this school, Olympian alumni line the hallways.
Let's switch 19 Indy, bro.
And some school days include Olympic watch parties.
We're watching the Olympics men's snowboard big air qualification.
11-year-old Benny Diaz wants to be a pro snowboarder. This week, he's watching his classmate, VSSA senior Ollie Martin, live that dream in Italy.
Ollie's definitely one of the best in the world, so it's pretty cool that I get to see him at Copper sometimes, but it's pretty cool. It's if they can do it, I can do it, right?
It's amazing to see a kid I've essentially grown up with be on the world's biggest stage and compete at such a high level.
I counted, and with our 5 alumni and 3 current athletes, if VSSA were our own country, we'd have as many athletes as Argentina.
Meg Gustafson hopes to be next.
I'm hoping to qualify for the Paralympics this year. Since I'm visually impaired, I ski with my brother in front of me as my guide. So it's incredible to be a brother-sister duo doing that.
She'll find out this month if the siblings get their own trip to Italy. And a whole school cheering for them back home.
To get to know them as people and then see them achieving incredible things is very powerful. I think the Olympics is potentially once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that they get to experience everything and live it to the fullest.
I want to go to that school. Thanks to Jennifer Meckles for that report. And a reminder, you can catch all the best Olympic action on Primetime in Milan, hosted by Mike Tirico, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Coming up, a big change for ChatGPT.
OpenAI says it's beginning to test ads in the AI tool. What this could mean for users and their privacy. Next.
We're back now with a closer look at what's making news in the world of politics this morning, starting with the Trump administration moving to dismiss a long-running case against Steve Bannon.
NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor joins us now with more on this and other headlines. Sahil, good morning.
Good morning, Christine and Jess. We begin today in politics with President Trump's Justice Department moving to wipe out the criminal conviction of Steve Bannon, the right-wing commentator and Trump ally. The DOJ says its motion is, quote, in the interests of justice. Bannon was held in contempt of Congress for defying the January 6th committee, convicted on 2 counts, and served 4 months in prison in 2024. But that was under the Biden administration. Trump, by contrast, continues to discredit the probe and falsely claim the 2020 election was stolen from him. Unsurprisingly, Bannon doesn't oppose the motion, according to U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro. Meanwhile, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, had an ominous warning months ago, telling NBC News last June that a targeted approach to deportation, which prioritizes people in the country illegally who commit crimes, would be necessary to keep the faith of the American people. Homan made the comments while promoting his forthcoming book, saying that using resources in a humane manner and with an eye to removing criminals would be the way to preserve public support for Trump's actions, which has since fallen in the wake of DHS agents killing 2 Americans in Minneapolis. And finally, Senator Elizabeth Warren is sounding the alarm about the tax-exempt group handling private donations for President Trump's White House ballroom, which is expected to cost $400 million. The Massachusetts Democrat warned that the group, called the Trust for the National Mall, could rake in between $8 and $10 million off its fundraising role by pocketing up to 2.5% of each donation for what it calls a management allocation. Warren, for her part, said it shows the president's gold-encrusted ballroom, in her words, has become a vehicle for corruption. And that is a look at what's making news in politics. Christine and Jess.
All right, Sahil, thank you. Turning now to a big change coming to one of the most popular AI tools in the world. OpenAI says it's beginning to test ads inside ChatGPT, a move that would affect users on the free and go tiers.
The company says ads will be clearly labeled, kept separate from chat responses, and won't influence answers, but they will be based on what users are asking about. So this calls into question privacy, trust, and what is the future of AI?
NBC News AI fellow Jared Perlow joins us now with more. Jared, good morning. Thanks for being here. What will users see differently when these ads start rolling out?
So testing started yesterday, and it will be rolled out in phases. So I can't guarantee that every user at home will see it. But when it does show up, if it shows up for users, will be in separate, clearly marked boxes that are labeled as ads or sponsored results. So these won't be baked into the rest of ChatGPT's answers. OpenAI is very emphatic about that. But what you will see are the example that OpenAI gives often is if you're looking up how to make a salad, for example, what salad dressing to add, what vegetables to use, you might see underneath ChatGPT's regular answers an advertisement for a particular brand of salad dressing, something like that. So this is still a test phase, very early days, but users of the free and go tier, which currently costs $8 a month but gives you access to more memory, more messaging capabilities, they'll see those ads starting to be rolled out soon.
So OpenAI says that ads won't influence ChatGPT's answers and that conversations stay private from advertisers. I feel like I'm a little skeptical about that, but we'll go with it. But why? But the ads are based on user activity. And so how big a shift is that? And why does that matter in this context?
So the way I like to describe it is we can maybe think about it as a one-way mirror. So the ads won't affect the chatbot's replies, but the chatbot's replies still provide the topic of conversation for the ads.
Right, okay.
So in that salad example, or say I'm looking up where to go on a ski vacation, like OpenAI will be able to tell and will be able to tell advertisers I'm looking at winter sports, maybe New Hampshire, Vermont, and then suggest different resorts in New Hampshire, Vermont to then match ads in that setting. So in that sense, that ad matching capability totally new. But at the same time, we've known for a decent amount of time at this point that your chats on ChatGPT are not totally private.
Yeah.
So human reviewers in legal matters or when they're doing internal safety testing or maintenance, they can also have access to your ChatGPT logs. So in the sense of opening up to advertisers, now they're very emphatic that the advertiser will only see topic of conversation and will match ads based on past chats and past interactions with chats. So it's not like the exact transcript of my deepest, darkest conversations with ChatGPT are being shared.
I always assume that everything is going to be public.
You just feel like everything's going to be out there.
Privacy is dead. What about safeguards, especially for children?
Yes. So OpenAI emphasizes this is a test phase, but they said that in the test phase, ads will not show up for users that they deem to be under 18 years old, or that, or for users who have indicated, providing their date of birth, that they're also under 18. But that's just in the test phase. It'll be interesting to see if that standard holds as ads are rolled out more widely. They also say that ads won't be displayed next to topics that are sensitive or regulated in nature, like health, mental health topics, or politics. But again, this is all a test phase. We'll see what happens over time.
I'm a dinosaur. I'm not ready for this.
Watching this
Thanks,
space.
Jared.
Jared, thank you so much. Coming up, Valentine's Day just 4 days away. And if you still don't have a gift for that someone special, don't panic.
We've got some last-minute deals and gift ideas that even though it is last minute, they will still show you care. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're back now with some financial headlines, and Amazon may be stepping into the AI content business.
Yeah, NBC News business and economy reporter Ali Canal has your Money Minute this morning. Good morning, Ali.
Good morning, Christine. We have a little bit of big tech updates this morning. The information reports that Amazon is exploring a new AI content marketplace. Now, here's the idea. Amazon would let news and media publishers license their content to AI companies so that they get paid when it's used. Now, of course, it comes as tech and media giants clash over how AI models can legally use that material. In a statement to NBC News, Amazon said it's built long-lasting relationships with publishers, but that it has, quote, nothing specific to share on this subject at this time. And moving on to the economy, a small sigh of relief from consumers. A New York Fed survey shows inflation expectations eased just slightly in January, while fewer Americans feared losing their jobs. The survey lands as the Fed holds interest rates steady with the labor market stabilizing, but inflation is still above target. We will have fresh readings on both due later this week. And attention, coffee fans, Starbucks has a new secret menu item. Now, app users only can order the new hidden drink, the iced brown sugar honey Americano. This, of course, tied to the Winter Olympics, and it's part of Starbucks' push to drive app orders and cash in on that Olympic buzz. And guys, it sounds pretty good to me. Iced brown sugar honey Americano, I can get behind that.
It reminds me of the iced brown sugar, the shaken espresso, but I think the honey sounds nice.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Warm you up?
Yeah.
That Milan cold air.
Or that New York
you can
cold
pretend
air.
you're there. It's great.
Ali Canal, thank you. All right, it's a new era for American Vogue. Anna Wintour has passed the baton to Chloe Mall, the 40-year-old Vogue.com editor, weekly podcast host, and now the head of editorial for American Vogue. NBC's Jenna Bush Hager brings us a behind-the-scenes look at Mall's first issue, leading the fashion industry powerhouse.
Vogue is a cultural phenomenon, setting trends, defining style, shaping culture. Each year at the Met Gala, the ultimate in glitz and glamour arrive in New York City. It is among one of the greatest traditions and legacies of the global icon and leader of Vogue, Anna Wintour.
It's not just a magazine.
So legendary, a film franchise has been built about her.
Who is this?
And now she passes the baton to the next generation. Meet Chloe Mall, the 40-year-old New York City mom who spent more than a decade overseeing the magazine's digital content and podcast, The Run-Through. Now the head of editorial content of Vogue US.
There was obviously a lot of speculation about who would get this job. Talk to me about how it went down.
Anna likes things to be under very high secrecy. It was like the Pentagon Papers being shared. Anna said, Chloe, you cannot tell anyone, not your mother, not your husband. And I was actually alone in the city with my dog. And so I came home and I said, Lloyd, you're the only person I can tell. And Lloyd didn't care.
Were you surprised after 15 years of sort of dedication, it was something that you kind of hoped for?
I really never sincerely thought that would be me. And I think that it still isn't, because Anna, I do feel, is very present, and I appreciate that.
She actually said this about you and your new role. She said, I'm excited to continue working with her as her mentor, but also as her student. I mean, you're Anna Wintour's teacher. That feels like...
Not sure what exactly I'm teaching Anna, but I hope that it can be exciting and unexpected.
I got a sneak peek of Chloe's first print issue with Spanish singer-songwriter Rosalía on the cover, and Chloe's first letter from the editor.
In my first editor's letter, I talked about how for Halloween 2 years ago,
I loved it.
Dressed up as Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. You know, Miss Frizzle always dresses to reflect the things she's excited about and the places she wants to go and see, and it is about magic. So what is the type of story that I passionately am excited about? And that can be a little kooky. That can be something that maybe feels off the beaten path.
You and I have some things in common, which is that we have famous families.
Chloe's mom is actress Candice Bergen. Her dad, filmmaker Louis Malle, passed away when Chloe was a young girl.
Do you find that you work harder being your mother's daughter?
The reason I say that I'm a proud Nepo baby, obviously I'm not proud to have advantages that others have. I'm fiercely proud of my parents.
Yes.
Oh, look who's here. My mother, she was working more than 5 days a week filming Murphy Brown and working till 2 a.m. on Fridays. And that guise that she successfully made of making me feel like the only thing that mattered is something that I am very inspired by. And
how'd she do it?
She was really smart. She really built a community around me that made me feel loved and supported at all times.
And that is Chloe's goal as a working mom of two.
I am trying to prioritize things that I really care about doing with my kids. But my husband takes them to the dentist at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, and I just have accepted that that's not going to be my role, and that's okay.
And also, isn't it great that you married somebody that is a partner like that for you?
He's on all the mom chats. He's on the PTA. Like, he's really leaning in.
The Met Gala is right around the corner.
Is it around the corner?
Well, I don't know.
It's February.
Does that stress you out?
Kind of. I am excited to be on the host committee this year. I recently went with a few colleagues to get a tour of the planning of the exhibition and see what works of art are being involved.
Is there a dream cover?
Well, yes, but I can't tell you.
Is there anybody you can say that you'd be into?
If Taylor Swift wants to share her wedding photos with us, or any other big bride who's getting married, we love a big bridal moment.
With Chloe Malle at the helm, it looks like there will be a lot of big moments in this new chapter of Vogue.
Oh, thanks, Jenna. That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that looked really fun. All right, Valentine's Day, guys, is just 4 days away. And this year, more than half of Americans plan to celebrate or buy a gift, with experts predicting the holiday to bring in, get this, a record $29 billion.
Yeah, it's like $200 a person. People are planning to buy gifts for their partners, family members, friends, and even their pets. And if you're still on the hunt for the perfect gift, don't panic. Our NBC Select team has some last-minute tips to score a good deal in time for Saturday. Yes, it is Saturday.
I know, it's coming up. NBC Select reporter Zoe Mallon is here with those tips. Zoe, good morning. Great to have you. We got the red memo.
Yes, we did.
For me, and this may be cheesy, nothing says Happy Valentine's Day like a big red foil heart. I've loved it since elementary school. But so let's start with candy, chocolate. Where are the best places to get that this week?
Yes, so candy and chocolate is the #1 Valentine's Day gift. If you are looking online, you can look at places like Edible Arrangements, Goldbelly, and even Sherry's Berries. They specialize in chocolate-covered strawberries. And if you are looking for something for your loved one, but you don't know what kind of sweet treat they love, chocolate-covered strawberries is always a safe bet. They tend to be a top pick. I spoke to someone from Edible Arrangements recently, and they said last year, in 2025, they sold over 2.1 million chocolate-covered strawberries. That is a lot.
Flowers are always popular. And it can be as simple as going to the grocery store, taking off the plastic wrap and like making it look pretty, or getting something more bespoke and nice. What are the ranges?
Yes, we definitely see price ranges from even under 50 to over 100. You can look at places like 1-800-Flowers, Urban Stems, Farm Girl Flowers.
I love it. It's so classy.
It is. And the other great thing is, if you aren't someone who can splurge on those roses, you can also get succulents. There's one called a Hoya heart that's actually shaped like a heart naturally, which is really cute. And if you want to go totally in the other direction, you can do a Lego flower bouquet. Those are roses, wildflowers. You put them together with your loved one, and then it's a little piece of home decor.
That's cool.
For some people, the chocolate and the flowers are a little cliche. So what are some other sort of more unique ideas that we can give someone?
Yeah, so this year, 2 trending items that we're seeing. First is a Kodak digital camera, and this is just something that helps you capture memories without having to use your phone. Maybe it encourages you to print them out, make an album. And then we are also seeing jelly cats trending. These are cute little stuffies. They're collectibles. They're shaped in all different animals, even desserts, and they're great for kids, but you can even use them on your desk as little office decor.
And it falls on a Saturday this year, so that has a dinner reservation issue. You either need to get the dinner reservation, or I really am a big fan of making something nice and making it kind of beautiful.
Absolutely, yes. We are currently seeing Google searches for dinner reservations on Valentine's Day up 250% week over week. So it is something on a lot of people's mind. Definitely make sure you're making that reservation now, or else you might not get the spot you want. But if you want to stay in, DoorDash actually says that they typically see an over 20% surge in dining in on Valentine's Day, and it's their #1 day for premium orders, so places that sell things like champagne and also seafood. So maybe you're someone who wants to stay in on Valentine's Day, and then you go out a little earlier in the week.
Yeah, I like that idea. We know that sometimes flower shops will hike up the prices because it's Valentine's Day. Are there any tips to getting around, to save a few dollars this year?
Absolutely. So #1, make sure you're looking at those Valentine's Day sales. They are definitely out there. Sign up for SMS and email messages from your favorite retailers. That's often how you find out about free shipping flash sales or flash sales in general. We also recommend looking at those President's Day sales because they're starting. And then also, you can always wait until after Valentine's Day if you're not seeing your loved one until, let's say, February 15th. We do tend to see retailers drop prices right after the holiday. They want to clear shelves of anything that might feel like old news to consumers next week, and then make sure you are buying online or you are shipping early so you can avoid expedited shipping fees.
I love making a poem, and I did this for Craig Melvin on the Today Show. It was so cute. My boys and I we may or may not have used AI to make a Craig Melvin poem, and that's free.
That's so sweet.
I swear to you, he loved it.
Yeah.
So, you can think of creative things like that if you don't want to break the bank.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just a card. Sometimes someone just wants to know how you feel.
Yeah,
So,
a little sentimentality goes a long way.
Zoe, these were such great tips.
Thanks,
Thank
Zoe.
you so much. And you can use the QR code on your screen or go to NBCnews.com/select to shop for some of the products that Zoe mentioned. A reminder, NBC News does earn a commission from the purchases made through our links.
All right, near Scandia, Minnesota, a grandpa of 8 has cracked the code on breezing through frigid winters.
Ooh, for the second time in 4 years, Steve Blees has built a backyard winter wonderland for his grandkids with a homemade luge that runs nearly 300 feet. Kent Erdahl from our NBC station in Minneapolis has this heartwarming story.
Minnesota winters are not for the faint of heart.
Love winter, especially the snow.
But for Steve Blees, even cold weather chores
It's going to blow right at you.
are a blast. His snowblower isn't typical, and the path he's clearing doesn't always keep him vertical.
You might as well stay now.
But it's all by design.
It's just pure ice, and it's fast as hell.
It's called the Papa Bear Plunge, nearly 300 feet of pure winter imagination, first conceived in a very different season.
The idea came from in the summer, cutting the grass, and I'm going, this is a perfect hill for a slide.
And once the perfect conditions arrive, he gets to work.
I start by taking an ATV with a snowplow.
He admits building, maintaining, and even testing this luge
Form the edges.
can get a little labor intensive.
That's more than a little. I think I probably got over 100 hours in it this year.
But stick around after hours, and Papa Bear's little cubs will show and tell you.
He works very hard.
Every second is appreciated.
I'm just very grateful to have a grandpa who does this, and I really love it. It's really fun.
Hi, Cammy.
Steve grants unlimited access and high fives to his 8 grandkids.
This is the best part. There's nothing better.
He's just like, I'm making a slide really cool, and then we get here and we're like, this is incredible.
His 3 daughters, turned mama bears, were so impressed by the first slide 3 years ago that they shared it with the world.
I thought this was something that could provoke joy and warm people's hearts.
Nicole Warner's hunch was correct.
I just uploaded it and it went crazy.
Her 2022 TikToks were featured on news channels nationwide. And now, after a 2-year pause forced by Mother Nature,
He doesn't do anything small, he does it big. He goes all in. Yeah.
this year's plunge is even longer, and it's blowing up faster than a Papa Bear campfire.
Am I on fire? Altogether, it's over 2 million views.
Sure, it's nice. I can't deny that, but that's not why I'm doing it, Hi, pal. That's why I'm doing it right there. see the smile on their face.
To be clear, it's not just the grandkids who are smiling.
It makes you feel like a kid again.
There you go. The adults have fun too.
Papa Bear himself is a testament to that.
Any grandparent will tell you all they want to do is have fun and take care of the grandkids.
Minnesota winters may not be for the faint of heart, but with the right perspective and conditions, they just might fill it.
I'm a lucky guy. You know, the good Lord gave me all the right elements to do it. And it's not something you can do every year, right? So you do it when you can.
Near Scandia, Minnesota, Kent Erdahl.
It's just pure love is all it is.
There's Minnesota ice and Minnesota nice, and
Yes,
that is both.
I love that. The coolest grandpa ever.
Our thanks to Kent Erdahl for that report.
And that does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
The news continues right now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.